All right, so hi everyone.
David, I don't think we don't see your screen. If you can press on share on the bottom
Yeah, I did
in
that.
green.
And desktop too.
Okay, here it is. Perfect. You got
All
it.
right, you guys can see that. Great. So hi everyone. Again, my name is David Marks. I'm a principal solution advisor for SAP. I've been working here 27 years, and before that, I was a business objects consultant. And I've been supporting the business objects product line throughout. I've focused on the federal government and the Department of Defense as part of my role at SAP. And I'm supporting a lot of the business objects kind of questions that are coming in. I'm going to present the roadmap slides on the business objects product line here. And I think we've talked about it a bit. But this hopefully you'll get some education here and kind of understand kind of where the product's going and kind of planning your own roadmap going forward to align with this. Um, let's go to my next slide here. So I don't know how many people have seen this slide or this roadmap. It is published out there. So as we know, Business Objects BI 4.3 is ending mainstream maintenance end of this year, and it goes into kind of customer specific maintenance and security fixes for 1 year. Um, then we're hoping everyone will be on BI 2025 by then, but the way the product is going to be released over the next uh, from here forward is really aligned with SAP's software strategy and on all their other products. So we'll have major releases, which instead of service packs, we'll have major releases every 2 years. Right now, BI 2025 was released in March. And so every 6 weeks, there's going to be, for the first 2 years, there'll be patches. So if you're downloading software, you're looking at the latest BI 2020-25 release that I forgot which patch we're on at this point, maybe patch 7 or 8, but there won't be a service pack one for, I know a lot of people will say, well, I'll upgrade when we get the first service pack, but it's a patch based system now. The product has been out there for more than almost a year already. There's really no reason to kind of wait at this point. So after year three, it'll go into every 8 weeks. And then at the end of 2027, it'll go into just security fixes and so on. And then we'll have BI 2027. And so the customer specific maintenance, you'll see that out there on the gray area. If you get into that area on your product, then it means there won't be patching on the software, just customer support, right? You'll be able to get questions answered by support, but not any patching. So it's important to kind of stay within the mainstream release of the products.
And David, what's great about the roadmap here is, well, first of all, it's going, here clearly up to 2032, but actually you can see the arrow on the top right is going beyond. So it's great, to have at least two versions that have been announced in advance. So that is really, really good. So.
Yeah, and you can definitely notice, right? Kevin just went through it, right? It's not just, you know, they are enhancing the products, right? Web Intelligence got a lot of new features and will continue to
Yep.
get innovation going forward. And I'll talk a little bit about that in subsequent slides.
And David, just one thing I wanted to add up as well is we've had customers that went to BI 2025. I think the latest patch was actually seems to be quite stable from what we heard, so that's good.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why. I mean, as long as you've done your all your homework and kind of done the right migration steps, it's definitely a good time to kind of move to 2025. And we'll talk about that a bit more. But and yeah, again, like we have a strategy, a statement of direction, and we'll provide these links. But these are out there on the public websites and on the SAP support websites, so you can always go back and check for any official documentation. Now, as far as ways to deploy business objects, enterprise, and this is really for either 4.3 or BI 2025, right? You can, it is an on-premise product at its heart, right? But many customers have deployed it also with their own infrastructure as a service, right? And when you do it that way, a lot of it is managed by the service provider. We also have what we call private cloud edition business objects. And so this is where SAP will provide additional managed services for the customer and handle all the infrastructure, handle the operating system, patching, um, software upgrades and things like that. So this is a change. This is the same product. It's exactly the same. It's just SAP will manage those pieces. And what we can also do is convert your license, your on-premise license to a subscription-based license. So there's a commercial there's a transaction here, but you basically cancel your maintenance and trade in your software for a subscription. So so that's an option nowadays, both for commercial customers and for federal customers. It's available in the secure cloud with FedRAMP certification, IO4 certification. So let us know if you're interested in this version of business objects. If if you struggle with managing the infrastructure or the services, or you just want to move to all cloud-based solutions. So that option is out there. All right. There's also, I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about maybe what you've heard about business objects and business data cloud interoperability. So, business data cloud, SAP Analytics Cloud, these are all the cloud-based solutions that SAP provides. Um, so this is a fully SaaS solution, and it's this is where we have some innovation on the AI side as well, like the natural language query and all that is also over there. But this is for customers who are using Business Data Cloud or DataSphere or any of these kind of new products. Um, Business Objects does fully support the data sources here, right? So we can, with Business Objects, interact with SAP DataSphere, the models that are created there, anything. Of course, it supports SAP Business Warehouse, um, and so all of this is still supported, and it's really a first class citizen for business objects. You don't even have to have a universe, just like with BW accessing DataSphere. I just access the analytical models. Same thing with SAP HANA. So you may need still business objects for these kind of enterprise reporting use cases, that, pixel perfect reporting, um, that's all still supported. So these two products can work together nicely. You can even kind of go the other direction, right? SAP Analytics Cloud can consume business objects, content, universes, and Webby reports as well. So there is an interoperability here. So some customers are migrating to SAP Linux Cloud, some customers are not. So it just really depends on where you are in your journey. All right. So now let's look at the business objects portfolio, and there are some changes, right, in BI 2025. You know, Products like Lumira Discovery are no longer supported, right? And when you go into 2025, um, Crystal Reports for Enterprise is not there. It's just Crystal Reports Designer. Analysis for OLAP, Live Office, those are all gone, right? And also you have the UNVs are also gone. So only UNXs. So, you know, activities to kind of prepare for 2025 include kind of looking at your environment and making sure that you have the content that you want into 2025 identified or converted, right? So converting all your UNVs to UNXs, converting all your web intelligence documents um, that point to UNVs, right? These are all activities that you need to do before kind of moving on. Um, we had some customers too that were, using analysis for OLAP as well, heavily over OLAP data sources. So that's also something to kind of pay attention to if you're using that product.
And one thing to be clear, because I know sometimes, David, there was some confusion on Crystal reports. So it's, let's say, some people will call it Crystal Classic that you have within Bobji. So you're good on that. So that's
Yeah, and Crystal Reports for Enterprise, that's a tool that runs in the browser, right, and uses
right.
universes as a data source primarily. So there wasn't a huge adoption there. So you kind of, with just Crystal Reports Designer that runs on your desktop, they put all the same functionality in that product. So anything that's built with Crystal Reports for Enterprise can be converted, right? And you can, if you want to use universes as a data source for Crystal Reports, you can do that.
And then on the UNX, yeah, it's painful, but the truth is, I think it was announced maybe 8 years ago, could even be 10 years ago.
We
So
announced
it's
it,
long
and
overdue.
yeah, we did. I think we started UNXs in 4.2, right? So it's been a long time.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Now, when we look at the individual products exactly, right? So the Mera Discovery, right? What's the go-to solution for that? That was a self-service tool, right, for doing data exploration. So you can definitely use, SAP Analytics Cloud or Web Intelligence as your kind of go forward. If you're using Luminaire Discovery, we didn't have a huge adoption with that product. We do have quite a few customers that are using Luminaire Designer for, analytical dashboards. So that is still supported. And again, like Crystal Reports, for enterprise, you can move to just Crystal Reports Designer or Web Intelligence. Analysis for OLAP, that's an interesting one because you can go to SAP Analytics Cloud. There's a data analyzer tool there
Mm.
for that, and you can also use analysis for Office for that as well.
So
So
Analytics for Office is still supported. We got a question from Fedi. So
100%, yeah. Um, you can use Analysis Office both on with Business Objects as the infrastructure, or with SAP Analytics Cloud also has a plugin for that to kind of make
got
the
it.
connectivity. It's very powerful, especially if you have SAP data sources. So
So it is Analysis for Office is still supported. While you were talking about SAC, we had a question from Miguel saying, "Hey, what are the differences between SAC and BobJ Business Objects BI 2027?"
the difference between SAC and BobJ 2027. I mean, we're on 2025, so I can't really speak to 2027, but um,
Or what would be the major differences in general between BobJ? I think that's would be a better
I think
way to
the
address it.
biggest difference is, with SAC, right? It's all a cloud-based solution, right? It's 100% in the cloud. It's a SaaS-based analytical solution, and so we can connect to on-premise data sources with it. We It does not use universes as a data source. It uses your connectivity there that's provided by, like, for example, like HANA. Has there are HANA models, there are BW models, there are you can access SQL data. So we have, connectors that would connect that way. And SAC, we can also use DataSphere as our data modeling layer, our kind of our our data fabric layer. Sorry, I'm having like actual power outage here. It's luckily my internet is
Oh
working
no,
and I have a backup battery and it keeps beeping at me. So
imagine.
I think
yeah,
anyway,
luckily
you're
my
close.
power's out and I'm
We can
still
take
able.
over if it's an issue.
Yeah, so that's the beeping you hear. So so anyway, yeah, so SAP NX Cloud and look at you got to really kind of look at BDC in general as BDC provides a whole data fabric and a whole and connectivity to really any data source and a data modeling layer as well. So that's kind of where we're heading on the AI side as well. So but of
Awesome.
course, business objects can also access um, business data cloud and data sphere. So um, yeah, and so just a couple other notes here. I mentioned the UNVs are no longer supported, but also when you look at UNXs are in 4.3, they can be multi-data source UNXs. You can't
Yeah,
in 2025, it's only single data source UNX. So
Federation's gone.
And
federation is gone. There's so many ways to do federation, and most people were adopting federation in tools like Datasphere or even in a web intelligence document itself, right? You can still do multiple data sources in a web intelligence document.
David, maybe you're not aware, actually, we were approached some time ago by SAP, and we actually have a tool to convert the multi-source UNXs to single source because that can be a real challenge.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
And
we
then
had customers with 500 tables or more, and that were multi-source, multi-connections, and that was really complex. So
yeah, so um, yeah, and so operating system wise, right, we're just now Windows and Linux only, so no more AIX and Solaris.
yeah, that's good.
So yeah, so let's jump onto the web intelligence pieces. I know we're getting a little short on time here. So what we're doing with web intelligence as far as that is we're trying to, and you saw some of the stuff that we're trying to reach more users with things like interactive dashboards and new offline access. We're really trying to increase the power of the product with on the user experience side, um, and really added kind of some additional capabilities on the BI Launchpad. So what you'll see in the product is, and I'll just kind of jump ahead to the slides. Like for example, on the BI Launchpad, you can now preview components of a web intelligence document, like visualization. Um, so this is pretty easy to do. You can pin content right to your home screen, and then this is live content. So those nice, um, you know, micro charts, can be available to the user right there. You can just mouse right
Mm.
over them. So this is each user can kind of do their own. Um, so that's a nice new feature on the platform side.
Yeah, you can pick and choose elements from a dashboard and export them to my tiles.
Right.
You
Yeah.
don't have to consume the whole dashboard. Very nice.
Yeah. So let's jump on to these on the web intelligence side. So again, the web intelligence is more engaging dashboard features, dynamic visualizations. We have a UI5 um, uh, graph visualizations that are there now. So not just the old CVOM visualizations, but they're UI5 components, and there'll be more added. And those are primarily used for these new dashboards um,
Yeah.
and using these specialized elements. So thank you, Kevin, for kind of showing how those would be used. And these are available both for tables, filters, charts, and really to enhance storytelling. Um, a couple things, and again, like using these pieces, right? You also have, for your canvases, right? It's much easier to kind of lay it out. You can say, I want to, it'll work well with an iPhone, with a regular monitor, with a note, with an iPad. So
Yeah.
uh, these are dynamic, in how they would display on those devices. When you look at the interactivity aspect of it, you have these new filters, all these different controls. You have a container widget where you can show and hide. So there's a lot more you can do here as far as like controlling the dashboard and making it more powerful and leaving the user kind of on one dashboard versus kind of jumping around, going from report to report to report. Um, and you can really elevate the storytelling by not just on the uh, on these scorecards, right? And you can actually mouse over a visualization and pop up a new kind of related visualization and pass the context. So I actually have,
Yeah, that's the piece I didn't have in my presentation. This is powerful.
Mm.
yeah, I actually have
Tooltip,
that here.
tooltips.
Tooltips. I'm going to show you a demo, a live demo. So I have this working, and I had it's really similar to what you had, Kevin.
Yeah,
But so this is BI 2025, right? And I have something called eFashion revised. And so there's your micro charts, right? And what I did was, so this is the standard DBOM stuff. And then here's your micro chart. And notice I created a tooltip chart over here, right? So this tooltip chart, I'm going to pass the context to this chart and then pop it up when I mouse over. So, right. So if I mouse over a different one, there we go. And you can do tooltips on tooltips. So this kind of
well,
keeps the user in the same dashboard. So that's a nice new feature.
very powerful. Yeah.
Um, all right. So then, yeah, you demonstrated the Wiiisdom capability like this again. This is a web intelligence document extract. I kind of like think of it a little bit like the next Excelsius. I don't know if how many people remember Excelsius and how we could create
The
flash.
first one, the first Excel sheet.
I would
Yeah.
imagine. So, so this is an HTML5, document extract that's offline, so you can consume it with your browser. So again, you can, I think you use the UI5 components for all of this, right? But anyway, you can export or you can schedule these as well. So yeah, the dashboards have to be built with UI5 widgets, which is what you were showing.
Yep.
Um, and the distribution, right, is the same as anything else, right? So you have, the drives, email, inbox, external portal, those kinds of things. I would imagine this might be super powerful going to an external portal for publishing content, right? So
And we had a question here. Is it very similar to like what you would have in Tableau on that for Wiiisdom, David?
yeah, it's just going to be, I mean, just like you showed the UI5 new dashboards, it's going to behave just like that. So it's going to look just like your web intelligence document,
Okay.
right? So um, and the authoring reports, right? It's been enhanced, right? We now have these nice panels to drag and drop, and your left-hand panel shows you all your different report elements. Um, so that's new, right? And you can see your additional, you can kind of see the different kinds of, it'll tell you if it's a UI5 or if it's a CBOM component. Um, and then on the right-hand side, you'll see these your data sources are kind of organized a bit differently in your report elements and your layouts, right? If you want a different kind of layout, you can pick that. Um, the data mode is really interesting too, right? So we've added some capabilities, some additional operators on data mode for right outer join and right outer join without intersection, but this is super powerful because you can visualize how to join multiple data sources together, right?
Yep.
And so I think we saw this in 4.3, but it's been enhanced, with
Yeah, there's been a lot of updates on it when it works great.
yeah, I've
I'm a big
demonstrated this a
fan.
couple of times with like 5 or 6 data sources. Many people, one customer, they had 17 data sources running in their 4.3 in, reports. They were collecting data from all different places. So this is very important to have
Mhm.
the data mode capabilities. So we'll continue to enhance web intelligence and add more features going forward on the dynamic canvases and the responsive pages, advanced widgets, um, and just keep an eye on the roadmap, advanced ad hoc preparation on the exploration and suggestion. So you'll start to see a bit more AI built into the product there. And looking at Crystal, since we have Crystal Reports Designer now as our main tool, we need to have more drivers, more capabilities there on accessing data, including BW and UNXs. So that's there, right? And a query panel as well. So desktop users for Crystal will, they get a kind of a better viewer, right? A more powerful viewer, faster, more reliable. So we're still, keeping Crystal, keeping innovations going with Crystal without disrupting the how they're using the product. Um, so that will continue going forward. Um, so it has, future innovations that will come, and we'll make sure we'll, keep the connectivity um, all there. And, as more and more data sources are coming online, especially cloud-based data sources, data lakes, those kinds of sources, those will all be supported. Um, and then lastly, like the analysis for Office, right? So this is going to still be there, of course. And we have 2 versions, that one that runs as an Excel add-in for 360 Microsoft 365, and then one that's just runs on your desktop Excel.
Mm.
And then the desktop Excel will connect to there's kind of 2 ways to connect, one through the SAP Analytics Cloud, and also the standard edition that where you authenticate with business objects.
Yeah.
So that's your OLAP, your best, besides going into SAP Analytics Cloud and doing data analyzer, this is a great OLAP option too.
Awesome. Thank you very much, David.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for taking the time to present the roadmap. We're a little bit behind schedule. Patrick, do you want to launch a couple questions? I think you've got what, 3 questions? Is that what for the CP credits?
Yeah, I think it's 4 questions,
Okay, go
so
for
I
it.
can drop a few right here.
Let's do it.
So, first question we got is which statement best describes the Wittix distribution? And I'll quickly launch that for you all.
Well, does Wittix requires a Bobjet license for every recipient? Must be open from the BI platform. Free distribution in a web browser with data layout and interactivity even offline. Only support tables, not charts. Do you need to have a license for Wittix? I guess it's included with BI 2025. So, or is it something you can share pretty much anywhere? Okay, let's get the answers and then move on to the next question, Patrick.
Alrighty, it looks like majority of the folks are saying free distribution for
Good,
this
that's the right
question.
answer.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Kevin, I hope you answered right, and same for David, so it's good. Let's move
I
on.
got it right.
Awesome. I'll move on to the next question. Thank you all for answering. We're going to do, I believe, 4 more questions real quick. Next one, which layout options are highlighted for WebL dashboards in BI 2025?
Is it only A4, 16 by 9 in mobile? Custom CSS not supported landscape only? Um, well, I guess it's open pretty much everywhere. So
I can hear the wheels turning now.
Mm. Okay.
Looks like folks are saying 16943 in
Good
mobile.
answer. That's the
Uh,
right one.
Alrighty, give y'all a few more seconds to answer that.
Hmm.
All right, I'll go ahead and end that poll and we'll go to our next poll question. Next one. From which release does WebL's OData connectivity usable as a Power BI source start, and when is it enhanced?
So was it in 4.1, 4.3, SP2, and hence in 4.3 SP4? Did it start in 4.2 where it's not supported? So as you know, OData is really phenomenal. And for example, if you have Power BI as well, it allows you to feed Webby into Power BI and leveraging all the benefits of your semantic layer. So
Yeah.
it is, and we've had tremendous feedback from customers on that.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Kevin, anything to say on that?
No, I was just going to say it's a great way to get started with Power BI. Not that I'm plugging Power BI, but if you're going to use Power BI, it's a great way to get started.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
some
think
people will say, yeah,
I was say like, I mean, so many people have used Webby as a great way to kind of access data, then dumping it to Excel and then accessing with another tool. Like this is a way to kind of keep the data live, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have snapshots of data, you have live data here because it can
Yeah,
be
and
fresh on demand. And so
absolutely.
yeah.
In Power
and you
BI,
can trust it.
I can refresh my OData in Power BI.
Well, let's see the answer. Let's see the results of the poll.
All right, looks like most of the folks who answered the poll said it starts in 4.3 SP2 and it's
Good.
enhanced further in 4.3 SP4.
Awesome. Is there a last poll or should we, what's the,
Yeah, I think we've got two more to do
okay.
before next session. All right, so this is which universe is supported in BI 2025. So this will probably be a quick one.
Is it UNV only, UNV on UNX, UNX only, or neither? So come on, I'm hoping we'll get 100% on that. So, and then we're going to talk about it right after. So UNV only, UNV, UNX, UNX only, neither. So Patrick, what is the answer to that? Come on, that should
All
be an
right.
easy one.
Looks like 91% of folks have said UNX only, and it's by far the winner of this poll.
Good,
Yep.
good, good, good.
All right. Let a few more folks answer, and then we can move on to the next quick poll, and then we can go ahead
Okay.
and continue. All right. All right. Question number 8. Select the correct sequence for a robust UNV to UNX migration.
So repoint Webby first and convert universes. Bulk convert UNV UNX, bulk repoint Webby platform regression testing, only convert universes, backup not required. So should you, when you go from UNV to UNX, should you repoint first? Or do you first need to convert your UNV to UNX and then do the repointing after? And then, of course, after perform some testing. Or you only convert the universe and perhaps you might assume that converting the universes means that it's going to repoint your Webby documents on its own. So it's a little bit tricky on this one. So do you start by doing the repointing or by the conversion first of your UNV to UNX? Uh,
Looks like some folks are still
okay,
getting their answers in, but it looks like, from what I can tell, it says bulk convert UNV to
good.
UNX.
Yeah, you need
Yep.
to convert your universe first, and then you do the repointing after. And it's not because you convert your UNV to UNX is going to do the repointing. So okay, and then
All
let's
right.
move on.